Welcome to Latte with a Lawyer, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the stories of some of America's most successful lawyers, figuring out what makes them tick, how they creatively solve problems, and how others aspiring to be them can follow in their footsteps.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Latte with a Lawyer. I'm your host, Jonathan Brickman, and this afternoon we have Andrew Comer from the law firm Fortis Law Partners in Denver, right?
That's right.
Good. Nice to have you.
Nice to be here, Jonathan. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you bet. So to kick off the show here, our favorite question is Latte with a Lawyer. What's your morning beverage of choice?
I usually start the day with a bunch of just brewed coffee at my house, but if I'm out and about, it's an Americano. The espresso hits different, so that's what I go for. I keep it simple though, in general.
Keep it simple. Straight black coffee. No, nothing in it.
I throw some milk in there. It's like 2%. I've been trying all the different almond milks and oat milks and stuff, but I can't get into it. I keep it pretty old school.
Old school. All right, good
Yeah.
stuff. Nothing wrong with old school tradition.
No, nothing at all. As long as I'm caffeinated, I'm good.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Well, let's talk about your practice. Tell us what kind of law you practice out there.
Yeah, I'm a corporate lawyer. I have a pretty broad corporate practice. About 50% of what I do is M&A. We represent buyers and sellers in the small and mid-market for the most part. So we help structure and bring deals to a close. That's, like I said, about half my practice.
Okay.
The other half is just a broad collection of corporate work that clients need on a real outside general counsel basis. It's ongoing work. So, debt equity financings, commercial transactions. I even do some trademark work. So if businesses are starting up, growing, or just transacting day to day, I help them with that too. So I get to delve into the deals pretty regularly, and then help clients with their day-to-day needs, which is it keeps things interesting, and it's a good balance.
Okay, good. How's the M&A market look? I would imagine it's pretty active right now, given valuations dropping.
Yeah, 2021 was crazy. 2021 was, I think, the biggest or the busiest year for deals across the board. Big deals, small deals, medium-sized deals. COVID really reshuffled the deck. There was a lot of liquidity, a lot of money floating around. A lot of boomers decided they're getting out of the game and out of their business. Other people too. 2021 was so busy, and then 2022 it slowed down a little bit with money being more expensive, the Fed tightening, those kinds of things. But it was still a good busy year, just not as crazy as last year, which was really the high water mark.
Yeah. What kind of deals are these private companies, small, and you said mid cap type firms?
Yeah. So we represent almost exclusively private companies. We have one attorney here who does public company work, but I deal with private companies exclusively. And so we represent both buyers and sellers, and we're pretty industry agnostic. I have some tech focus if I had to pick one particular focus, but we represent service providers, manufacturers, people in the cannabis space, people developing and selling software, you name it. We're pretty much able to do it in the private deal space.
Okay. Yeah. Where's the most activity? Where are you finding most of the activity?
We've seen a lot of appetite recently for pretty traditional businesses with good cash flow. Like, people have moved away from some of the tech deals, and just like the public markets have moved toward good, reliable businesses who are in the home building space, or landscaping businesses, or manufacturers who have reliable products that may not be the sexiest thing in the world, but again, they're going to be around for the next 100 years and are manufacturing things that people need, or providing services in the home or to businesses that people really need. People have gotten away from some of the more fast moving software or green deals, those types of things, which we saw a lot of in 2021. It's a little more, people are looking for more reliable, better valuation businesses now.
Today, but tomorrow won't be that way again, right? I mean, people always pull back when the markets get tight.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time. 2023 is going to be, it'll be a really interesting year to see, whether we kind of continue this downtrend that we're on, or whether we pick back up. The predictions kind of run all over the place.
Yeah. What do you guys think? What do you see?
What's that?
What are you seeing? What do you think?
I think 2023, I think it'll be okay. I think as long as interest rates don't get too out of hand, things will be okay. Just like buying a house, if a lot of deals are financed with debt. And so, if debt's more expensive, people pause, or people a little more thoughtful, a little more careful about what they're buying. Transactions are slower. It's similar to buying a house. You buy a business, but you're a little more careful about it. But people still want to do it. If it's a good deal, it's a good deal, and people find a way to do it. So I think things are normalizing. I think COVID and 2021, like I said, was really busy, and things will just normalize. It'll feel slower, but I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I think so too. And it is, the word normal is the right word, because we've been living in abnormal times for 10 years with free money. I mean, that's not normal.
Yeah, it's not. And so my dad and others remind me of what interest rates used to be 20 or 30 years ago, and they're still shocking to me. It's 6% or whatever for a home, or 10% for a business loan is not too bad, historically speaking.
Yeah, it's really not. It's really not. So how'd you get into this type of work? Take me through that journey.
Yeah, I went to law school wanting to be an environmental and a water lawyer. There's water lawyers are popular in Colorado where I live. So I thought I would do that. And then I wound up taking some business law classes that I really liked. And I took an interest in it. And my first job out of law school was at a nonprofit in DC, and it was an environmental nonprofit, but I didn't do a lot of environmental work. I did a lot of their corporate work.
Yeah.
And so, doing that, managing the board, the corporate transactions, we did some M&A too, even in the nonprofit space. That really firmed up my interest in being a business lawyer. And I moved from there into private practice, and have been there last 8 or so years, and really enjoyed it. So
Yeah.
It's been kind of a lot of law students don't really know what they want to do, or they change course. And I did that. I'll be a business lawyer for the rest of my career, but that's not how I started out.
Oh, interesting. And you said, where'd you start? You say you went to Boulder. I say, obviously you're a Colorado guy through and through.
Right.
And I mean, how'd you make the decision to even become a lawyer?
Yeah, I knew from like an oddly young age that I wanted to be a lawyer. And then when I got to law school, I was like, maybe I don't want to do this as much. Law school was hard, and it was challenging, and it's so different from practicing law. I really enjoyed practicing.
Yeah.
But the law school part of it was not so fun. But I like the intellectual exercise of, I like to read a lot. I like to think through different arguments and approaches, and I really like working with clients. I like solving different problems every day for people. I really like having a different job every day, different clients every single day who need things, and really digging in and thinking hard about how to best structure a deal, or how to help them get the most out of a transaction, or how to bring on investors the right way is a lot of fun. And it really suits my brain. It suits my sort of disposition. I just like meeting those challenges, and I'm maybe a little bit ADHD. I like bouncing from client to client and deal to deal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd thrive in-house so much, but it's fun tackling those things.
Got it. And so how long have you been doing corporate law work? So you made that transition pretty early. You've stuck with that.
Yeah. So in some form or fashion, really, since I graduated in 2009, it's been in private practice since 2015. So
Not that long. You're still young. You're still young. So
yeah. I feel older than I
yeah.
am. It ages you a little bit.
Yeah. What's the most exciting deal you worked on?
especially as part of the COVID era, we did a lot of deals that felt like fire sales. We had a software company that we had to sell in 4 days or something like that because they were struggling a little bit, and they found a really good buyer. We also had some dry cleaning businesses that sold as part of the COVID. That those were businesses that really got hit during COVID, and they sold because they really needed to. And they were exciting in that they were fast moving. There were a bunch of those deals in 2020 and 2021. And they were fast moving, and they were really good results for the client, where they got out of businesses that didn't have great prospects or they really needed to get out of for other reasons. So those are the deals that stick with me the most, the ones that, like, the client really needs something quickly, really needs something because there may not be other opportunities out there. This is their nest egg, their baby, and we've moved fast to help them. There have been a few of those, and it's rewarding because again, these are the biggest transactions of people's lives.
Sure.
And what may be like a Tuesday for me, I remind myself every day that, like, these are the biggest business transactions people will probably ever enter into. And when there's an urgency to them, they stick out in your mind because you know how important they are to the sellers in particular, not so much the buyers often, but usually to the sellers when you're working in these kinds of deals.
Yeah, I mean, listen, particularly for like a dry cleaner, I assume a local person, that's a big transaction for them.
Yeah.
I mean, you work on bigger deals at, more larger organizations.
Yeah, we do. So we have some private equity clients who are doing 20, 30, $50 million deals.
Okay.
And then we have sellers who are selling on those kinds of deals to private equity firms or to strategic buyers. And so we'll do things that are in truly the small market. We really like working with entrepreneurs and business owners in Denver and really across the West. And then we'll do bigger deals that are, where there's a national firm involved, or national private equity, or our private equity clients are making acquisitions. So it runs from truly the small market to the large side of the mid market, I'd say.
Okay. So you like the action. You sound like an action guy. You want the action. So you like the fast moving deals.
Yeah. There's a deal junkie in like each of the transactional lawyers here. Like, we all sort of thrive on that. It's stressful. You really have to dive deep into it, but it's fun. And at the end of it, you're sort of exasperated and tired, but it's fun because it's so good for your clients. They're usually so happy with the outcome.
Oh yeah. How many attorneys at the firm?
We have 22 now or so that are full-time lawyers, and then we have a constellation of people who work part-time or who are associated with the firm. We've grown quite a bit. It's doubled in the 5 or so years that I've been here. We're about twice as big, twice as many equity partners, and twice as many staff and associates. But we're truly a mid-sized firm now in the 20 to 25 lawyer, depending on how you define it, space.
Okay. And the core focus of the firm is corporate law?
It's been a little more litigation focused, maybe 60-70% litigation, and then 40% corporate transactional. So we're getting into balance. It used to be a little more litigation focused, but we've got a busy transactional.
Oh, I see. Okay. So when you have a deal that needs litigation, you hand it off to a partner, or do any of your deals get to that?
Yeah, you hope not, but yes, I try to stay far away from litigation and pass it on to them. It's I'm trying to bring people together and not. I'll leave the fighting to other people. We got people here who can do that.
Okay. So you have no interest in litigation, is that right?
I'll send the odd demand letter. When I'm like really familiar with the deal or the issue, we can get a demand letter together pretty quickly instead of giving it to somebody else. But if it goes beyond that, it's somebody else's challenge. Somebody
else's baby. You don't want to get involved with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Well, it's good to know what you want and what you don't want.
There's some lines you got to draw sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So what do you think the skills are that make you good or interested in what the type of law you're practicing?
I think I'm flexible. I try to be a good listener, dynamic. I think each deal is different. That's kind of an overused slogan, but it's true. Each deal has its own set of challenges, its own individuals too. There are different egos, personalities involved. It's high stakes for the people who are involved.
Yeah.
And I just try to be flexible and understanding of where they're coming from, wherever that is. It may be a family business, it may be a business that's really thriving, it may be a business that's struggling, it may be a business that's selling software, or maybe a business that's selling widgets, and you have to be flexible. And I think I'm that. Trying to just meet the challenge, whatever it is, on a deal to deal basis, and not trying to fit my style or fit my preconceived notions of how things should go into the deal. Just taking what the client wants, what the client's risk tolerances are, those kinds of things, and adjusting to that to get them the outcome that they want.
Yeah. I mean, where do you get stuck? Is it usually come down to the economics of a deal?
Yeah. So a lot of deals have what are, for the non-deal listeners out there, have what are called earnouts. And so those will be a big thing where, after closing, a portion of the purchase price is paid
Sure.
based on the business's performance, and the seller no longer controls that business. And so how you deal with that, maybe 20% or so that's paid after closing and is based on performance that the seller no longer controls, is often a point of contention. Employment can be a big deal too. So employees are coming along as part of a deal, or sellers are coming along as part of a deal, they have to stay. And a lot of times key employees don't want to go, or they want changes to their comp, they want upside with the new buyer, things like that.
Yeah.
And so it's economics, and then it's those personality challenges of, like, a business changes hands, and it's a seismic event in a lot of people's lives. And so it's not an easy thing always to smooth over.
Yeah, no, I've been involved with a bunch of deals over the years, and it's always the people that are the challenge, right? Everything looks good on paper. You can make it look great on Excel or whatever. It's blending cultures together that is challenging, right?
Yeah. And so, somebody, a business in Colorado is all of a sudden taking orders from people in Milwaukee, or they've really liked the supervisor they're working with, and they know that person's going to be on the way out. Those are major issues, like you said. You blending and dealing with those challenges is big.
But that's not your worry after the deal's done.
It's not my worry. It's not my worry formally, but I always like hearing that things go well, like hearing from clients a year or two later, how did this go? How are things feeling? It's like, you want to hear that it's going well. You're still like invested in it on just a human level.
Yeah. Do you get repeat business from these clients?
You do. Oftentimes, we'll have one-off sales. So people come to us just because they're selling a business, and once they've sold the business, it's, that's it. But sometimes we have clients who have been clients of ours for a long time, and they get acquired, and the acquirer isn't going to make much changes, including to their legal representation. So we'll stick with them even through an acquisition, or we'll have buyers who come to us because they're looking to buy a business, and then we'll help them with the business after closing, with putting new contracts in place, dealing with employees, those kinds of things. So sometimes they're one-off deals where, never heard from again. But most of the time there's some residual work, or often a lot of residual work. They become long-term clients because they like the work we do as part of the deal.
Oh, good. Yeah, I saw you mentioned cannabis, and I see it in your profile. What kind of deals you doing related to cannabis? I know that's a big business out there.
Yeah, that industry has undergone a lot of consolidation, and so we represent operators across the cannabis chain. So from growers to retailers, manufacturers, people who are in the packaging space, people who are adjacent to the cannabis business, who are like exclusively selling hydroponics or lights to the cannabis business. We work with them a lot, and the industry that industry, at least on the M&A side, has slowed down because it's now, just like any industry, matured and consolidated. There are 5 or so really big operators in Colorado who have scooped up a lot of the businesses, a lot of the licenses. the laws in Colorado have gotten more permissive in who can own businesses, and that's allowed for some consolidation. And so there's still M&A activity, there's still other transactions happening, but it's firmed up a bit now. Just like any industry that's matured.
Is it, is it one license, or they all broken up into different parts of the business?
So there are different licenses for different parts of the business. So you'll have a license for growing and for manufacturing.
Okay. Yeah, some states are like integrated,
Businesses will vertically integrate, and that's become the best model, certainly.
Sure.
is to control the business from seed to sale. But you can have people who are in different parts of the business.
Got it. That's what I thought. I think in the state of Florida, it's actually, when you get a license, you literally, from front to back, you own the whole process. Which makes it more difficult. They're more expensive and tougher.
Yeah, it's a tough business. I mean, the tax laws are not friendly still. You still have, it's still federally illegal, which creates all kinds of ridiculous headaches, really, because it's federally illegal, but the laws aren't enforced, and the states are still trying to figure out how they're doing things. The localities, it's a tough business to make money in.
Yeah. But it's coming though, right? I mean, the federal overhead, I think, is going to go away, and it's going to continue to expand.
Yeah, I hope so. It's in this weird place. I do trademark prosecution, and we still, companies can't protect their brand. So if you've built this great brand, you still can't register a trademark in the cannabis space.
No kidding.
You can do things that are adjacent. You can get clever in some ways, but it's just one of those weird situations where we're like halfway in, halfway out, and it's no way to run a railroad, right? It's just let's do this if we're going to do it.
Right. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see the way that plays out, because there's lots of implications around it. The money side of it, right? Lending, right, for cannabis businesses too, is challenging as well.
Yeah, it'd be great to see them get real financing and to have the same access to money that other businesses do. That'd be a big step forward.
Got it. Anyone else in your family lawyers?
What's that?
Anyone else in the family lawyers?
In my extended family, yeah. So I've got folks who are no real business lawyers, but people who are in different businesses, public defenders, in the family law, a couple different areas in the extended family, but no immediate family who's a lawyer.
Okay. What would your advice be to someone who's thinking about becoming a lawyer? What would you tell them?
I think you should do it I think you should be all in. You hear a lot of lawyers, or you hear a lot of people who got a law degree because, they say, oh, I didn't know what else to do, or I liked the idea of being a lawyer or part of being a lawyer. But, it's 3 hard years in law school. It's sitting for a bar exam. It's taking on a lot of debt.
Yeah.
It takes a while to really get your footing in the business. And so, I just encourage lawyers, people who are in college have come to me, or I've talked to different folks about, what's it like to really be a lawyer. And it's something that you got to be all in on, and you got to have a good vision. Like I said, I changed my path within the legal profession, but it takes the best lawyers I know are really committed to it and love the profession. If you want to just get a law degree, I'd hit pause and try to do something else for a while, and then maybe come back to it if you say, I really want to be a lawyer because I see someone who's really successful and I want to build a career in their mold. Not just because it's like something to do or something that you feel like you should do. Be all in on this.
Yeah. I mean, I did you go right to law school from undergrad?
I did. Yeah, I went straight through.
Yeah, it seems like everybody does that. But again, to your point, get a little bit of life experience right before committing it. I don't see many that take a couple of years off and then go back to law school. Most go straight through, don't they?
Yeah, I think the average starting age is like 24 or 25, but you have most, I'd say, that are still that are starting at 23, going straight through. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best way to do it. I thought that if I took a year or two off, that I maybe would never, would never return. And maybe that would have been for the better. I doubt it, but I think it'd be good to have some life experience. The students who really thrive seem to have that perspective a lot of the time of like, they were sacrificing more too. They were often better students just because they were giving up careers. They had started families, and they were like, it put that like laser focus that, I think some students felt like it was like the 5th year of college, and that wasn't the best mindset for something as challenging as law.
Yeah. I always wonder about that. I asked a question a bunch of you guys because, you go to business school like myself. I mean, typically you take off 2 to 4 or 5 years before you go back. And it's usually a much more productive education, right? Because you have perspective,
Yeah. Yeah. And overall, I think there's just too much, like 7 years is, other countries have a more direct path to being a lawyer.
Yeah.
I would probably advocate for cutting the 3rd year of law school, or having it be more like apprenticeship focused. Having 3 years of sitting with the books is
That's
maybe
a
not.
lot.
People have talked about changing that for years, and they never get around to doing it.
Yeah. It's interesting. You're right. I mean, 3 years is a lot, right? I mean, you're right. A year of like internship or like real life seems like that would be a better way to transition into being a practicing attorney. Yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
There you go. That can be your mission.
Yeah, I'll take up the cause.
Make that happen.
Yeah. Move this entire industry.
There you go. Now, I talked to an attorney on here from Germany, and as you suggested, it is more of a direct path, and you don't have this law school. I mean, you literally like put your stake in the ground when you get started, and you say, I'm going to become a lawyer. At the end of that, you like take a competency. If you don't pass, you got nothing.
Right.
So you put your stake in the ground early, and you can start practicing law. But if you don't get those skills at the end of it, then you don't have that credential. So it's a different approach.
Yeah, that would be a tough scene for sure. Yeah, maybe there's some halfway point we can meet, but it's really 7 years of school, and it's just so much debt now too. It's just so expensive. Like, it's just prohibitively expensive, and I'm guessing we're leaving a lot of people who would be good lawyers and good additions to the profession behind, because 7 years of school is so expensive.
Yeah. Well, I would think, isn't there aid for people that are, want to become lawyers, good students that don't have the means?
Yeah, there is, certainly, but yeah, it's a little scarce.
Yeah, it's scarce. Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. And you went to Denver, right? University of Denver. That's a private. Is that private? Or is that part of the system?
Yeah, it's private. Yep,
Okay.
private. It's a private school. It's a private school. I went to C Boulder Public for undergrad. But yeah, the University of Denver is certainly expensive, and there are cheaper ways to do it than the way I did it.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm sure it was a good outcome. It sounds like you're happy.
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, listen, just final words that you want to leave about your firm and your practice and the best way to connect.
Yeah. Well, our firm is really a full service business law firm. We are focused on Colorado, but we've got clients across the country, and we're licensed in all different states, especially around the region. We're focused on small and mid-sized businesses, entrepreneurs, and investors that invest in those kinds of businesses. And we just love working with people. I think almost all of us are big law escapees and came here in large part because we just wanted to work directly with people and with clients. And so everyone really tries hard, especially me, to or something I particularly care about, just being accessible and being easy to work with, approachable. And so if people want to reach out, my number is 720-921-1371. And I'm A. Comer at FortisLawPartners.com. And would love to just talk to people. I love just hearing what people are doing and trying to help them, even if they don't want to be clients. I love hearing what people are up to. So
good stuff.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, good. Excellent. Well, listen, it was good to hear your story and learn what you guys do. For everybody, again, Andrew Comer, Fortis Law Partners, and this is sponsored by EmotionTrac, which is a legal tech platform. And we basically provide mock jury trial insights with our digital platform. So thanks again, Andrew. Enjoy the new year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, Jonathan.
Happy
Thanks
New
for
Year
having
to
me on.
you. And let's hope for a better 2023.
It's going to be good.
All right,
We're
good.
optimistic.
Good. Excellent. All right, good. Thank you.
Okay. See you, Jonathan. Take care.
Bye.